What's up, fam? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Today is Black Friday, but I'm black and it's Friday, so it's just Friday to me. Hope none of y'all got pinched by the cops today trying to get those deals. Today, I'm gonna get into why the only thing that scares me about West Virginia is its backup quarterback, what Lincoln Riley's wife and Dana Holgorsen have in common, and which offensive lineman not named Orlando Brown was named to a semifinalist watch list. I also am gonna share my segment on the Sports Animal today where I talked about why Mike Stoops is trash, why Baker Mayfield will always be my captain, a little story about how the burn mark came into the flag, if you don't know already. Swear I'm never going to touch another iron again. A little bit about me for folks who don't know why and how I got started and haven't been here since the beginning, and all of that's coming up after the bumper. If you're new to my channel or this is your first time here, consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day, do live shows on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and immediately following every OU football game. This is your place for OU football news, notes, and commentary. We have a good time in the comments. Just come through, say hi. All right, bumper.
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
So the only thing that scares me about this West Virginia game where we have too much talent and we should win by 50 is West Virginia backup quarterback Chris Chugginoff. At least I think that's how you say his name. Chugginoff scares me simply because he is the number 2 quarterback and OU has a habit of getting trounced by backup quarterbacks. The dude at Iowa State, the dude at Baylor, the dude at Kansas State. This defense is not terrible. It's just terribly coached. That said, we should be whooping a backup quarterback's behind every time we see him in every manner possible. But for some reason, we tend to think that a backup quarterback is not a Division I quarterback and not capable of carving us up. Just means he's not capable of being a starter until he is. And then he has his Heisman reel against OU, and I want it to stop. So because Mike Stoops is coaching this defense, I gotta say that Chris Chugginoff is probably gonna pass 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, but we should still win by 4 touchdowns. That means there's a lot of points being scored, and I think you should take the over if you're a betting man. Seriously, remember Zach Smith threw for 463 yards on this defense. Baker Mayfield had to bail Mike Stoops out again. Cal Kemp and Ironman football player Joe Lanning passed for a combined 368 yards against this defense. Alex Delton at Kansas State rushed for 142 yards on 27 rushes and threw for another 140 yards. It needs to end. I don't want this to happen against West Virginia. Which leads me to Dana Holgorsen. Dana Holgorsen and Lincoln Riley were on the same staff together for 5 years at Texas Tech. Riley's then girlfriend, now wife Caitlin, used to nanny Dana Holgorsen's children. Lincoln Riley has said that he's closer to Holgorsen than he was any other person on that staff. And you could say that Holgorsen moving to Houston made room for Lincoln Riley to ascend. So in some roundabout way, we have Dana Holgorsen to thank for Lincoln Riley being the head coach at OU. Holgorsen has even gone out of his way to say, I love the kid. It's been fun for me and to be friends with him and to watch him grow. That's cool. So the student offensive lineman you didn't know was on an awards list is Bobby Evans. He's a semifinalist for the Joe Moore Award, which is given to the best offensive lineman in the nation. The list gets trimmed to its finalists on Tuesday, so we'll be watching for that. All right, now let's get into my segment on the Sports Animal earlier Friday morning. And go! All the time. Since 1999, OU has had just 4 seasons where it didn't get double-digit picks. 2 of those 4 seasons have come in the last 4 years. And one of those seasons was a Bo Pelini coach season. See? Even Bo Pelini couldn't coach defensive backs at one point. Today I'm going to tell you about why Rodney Anderson is a Greek tragic hero after what he did at Kansas State. It's the culmination of so many things in this man's life that have led him to that one great moment. And it became clear that Abdul Latta was not going to be able to play. And Trey Sermon wasn't the preacher that we'd all come to know and love. Rodney Anderson had his time. And this is where his Aristea comes in. And he made like Popeye on some spinach. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I'm back on the step mill. You know, yesterday morning, Sunday morning, I woke up hoping to find out that the Iowa State game was a nightmare. Come to find out I was right.
And nightmares are real.
So today we're gonna get into why Mike Stoops gets to still call Norman home. Lincoln, it's time to earn your paycheck. Go fire Mike Stoops. Way too early bold projections for OU in the wake of this Iowa State
debacle.
And yet more reasons to fire
Mike Stoops.
That is our man RJ Young. It's I said YouTube sensation because I don't know what that is anymore. I don't know what a YouTube sensation is. I'm not in the YouTube generation. But RJ is joining us. Hey RJ, first off, thank you for taking the time to chat some OU football with us. Appreciate it. And if folks,
fellas, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hold on, real quick. Wait,
yeah.
Listen, I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Okay.
Yeah.
They on YouTube, they like watching these families and their kids, and they call it vlogging. And I'm like, I don't know if he's okay with that. You tell us. Kind of where you're at. Is it kind of social media icon? Like how do you self-describe yourself? in yourself?
I'm having a good time, man. That's how I self-describe it. I make one of these every day. You can call it vlogging because it's me talking to you about what I think and what I've seen and what I've found. But I've seen people call it vlogging. I've seen people call it, like Sports Center spots where I'm standing up. But, I'm not in front of a laptop. I got a burnt iron flag behind me, and I'm having a good time just chatting to people that I didn't know existed out there,
Mm-hmm.
So I started making more of them because people were like, whoa, this is awesome. Can you do some more? And I started doing it once a week, twice a week, and now I'm doing it every day. And it's awesome. It's great because the community's so great. And, people don't give enough credit to OU fans and how big into football we are. It's year-round. We care about it all. We care about everything.
You're preaching to the choir because we can in the middle of June talk about who the backup quarterback for OU is going to be next season. I mean, it is an ongoing thing, and it is great. But again, if people haven't come across your videos, YouTube, RJ Young Writes is the channel, and it's great stuff. Like I said, I'm not an OU fan. I didn't grow up here, didn't go to OU, but I watched them and I was entertained. And you have a great way of presenting that, and it's one of the things how when I was made aware of it, I thought, man, we got to talk to this guy, talk some OU. Now, the video you just released was about Baker Mayfield, and you laid out, which is, quite frankly, an open and shut case for the Heisman Trophy, mainly just because he's been awesome, and nobody else is even close.
No.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, though. It's not about it's not if he's going to win, it's how much he's going to win by at this point, and that's crazy to think about, that he locked up the Heisman Trophy in November, man.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Bryce Love and Saquon Barkley in September, and all of a sudden Baker says, "Let me show you what's going on right quick. Let me hit you with 600 yards passing against the number 11 team in the country. Let me set records. Let me show you about this JUCO transfer named Hollywood Brown, who's going to come laying out for these passes, and this bevy of running backs behind me, and at the field general. Because that's the argument right now that I would make is, as good as OU is, and we're talking about perhaps one of the most prolific offenses ever, certainly at OU with this yards per play average. It doesn't seem to work without Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say that about almost any other team. It doesn't work. It's why when the kid doesn't slide, we're holding our chest, going, "No, man, you're not 6'6", 330. You're 6 feet 210. Slide, sit down, But I thought it was awesome, just the way that Vegas has looked at the Heisman race, because, they're about business, they're about making money, and they've closed the book on it. They've taken him off the board. No more bets on Baker Mayfield. He's going to win. We're going to lose money on this.
Good stuff. We're talking to RJ Young. Now, RJ, here's the thing that I get into, and one of the things I love about Baker. Now, listen, I played in college, obviously, with and against guys. And Dusty Dvorak's a buddy of mine. He and I go back and forth on a text on Tuesday or Wednesday. And we both said the exact same thing. As far as Baker, he got crushed in the national media with the whole gesture and all that stuff. But Dusty goes, "Hey, tell me you wouldn't want to play with this guy." And I said, "Oh, my gosh, I'd kill to play with this guy." And talking to some of the scouts that I know, a couple of NFL scouts that have been in and around Tulsa, the chip he plays with, okay, he might have the biggest chip I've ever seen of any player ever. Massive. But the chip he plays with, it gets him in trouble a little bit because sometimes he can't control it. But when you talk to scouts and you talk to people that evaluate him at the next level, that's what they like about him. That's what they enjoy, that competitiveness about him, the way he leads the team. Because, listen, you look at the NFL, there's a lot of lack of leadership going on at the quarterback position in the NFL, and that's why I think scouts, they really like Baker.
No, I think that's spot on, because that's one of the things I think Lincoln was trying to get across in his press conference. But look, Daniel Jeremiah came down to the TCU game, wrote a great article on the NFL's website about scouting Baker Mayfield, and he called him Drew Brees after 4 cups of coffee, which I fell in love with because I think that's great. But the kids love him. That's the thing. You can't make someone fall in love with another player. You can't make someone go up to another guy and say, "I want to block for you. I want to catch passes for you." I don't know who's had a hype man as a quarterback. No. Think about that for a second. That's usually linebackers. Defensive back. Somebody who's got to be on 11 all the time. And Baker doesn't have an off switch. But you talk about the chip. But it's earned, man.
Right, no doubt. Hey, he doesn't sell himself short. That's why I try to tell people he's not Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel doesn't show up to practice. Like, literally, he just kind of mails it in, and that's what got him in trouble. Where Baker, he's the hardest working guy on the team, and he shows up every day. His coach, echoes that notion, and that's one of the things that Baker's not going to apologize because he works his ass off. It's plain and simple.
Well, I mean, and it's hard to get that across when we only see the kids play on Saturdays. You don't get to see them practice. You don't get to see them prepare. You don't get to see them in meetings. You don't get to see them in class. You don't get to see them every day out and about with folks and people. That was one of the cool things about being a beat writer, was I got to see up close just a little bit from time to time, writing these profiles, talking to parents, talking to coaches, what kinds of kids get recruited to OU. And it's hard to get across to people not only the character, but that these kids are once-in-a-generation talent. That from their area, they're legends. And that's true of Baker Mayfield, even bigger now because, I mean, he effectively walked on at 2 different Big 12 programs and won the starting job. I don't know if you can have a bigger chip than being a walk-on and being the eventual Heisman Trophy winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, R.J. Young joining us. You can check him out on YouTube. Find his stuff. It's massively, massively entertaining. Let's talk about the game coming up tomorrow. And we've seen it all year, RJ, with OU, how at times in games they've had mental lapses. Now that, Oklahoma State, they were going at it the whole time, but we've seen the mental lapses. TCU, again, might have been the next game where we didn't see it, though, but we've seen it during the year where at some point the team kind of shuts off. To me, that's the only way they lose this football game because the talent discrepancy is huge. The quarterback for Greer for West Virginia put his finger on sideways, so he's not going to play. OU just has to take care of their own business, and they'll be just fine, don't you think?
I think that's true. I mean, I think that's cool. The problem I have with this game, and the problem I have with most games like this, and the way they started out against Kansas, is they have this habit of playing down to their competition. And I don't like it. It makes me just a little upset because they know they're supposed to win. They know they're going to win. I mean, even when they got extra practice and extra reps last week, it looked like they thought they had won the game because the bus arrived at the stadium. But that ain't the case, and then somebody got under Baker's skin, which got underneath the whole team's skin. Like, that was the stupidest thing you can do is not show this team respect, right? Because if you don't show them respect, you don't allow them to lull themselves to sleep. Because at this point, the only team that's going to beat OU is OU, with personal fouls and missed assignments and just not having a head in the game. Because, like you said, the talent discrepancy is huge, and it's going to be that way up until they make the college football playoff, and then we'll get to see some great matchups. But this West Virginia game, I'm really excited just to see Kyler Murray. Whether he plays one snap or a full series or whatever Lincoln decides to do, I'm excited about watching that kid. I mean, whenever he's coming in for mop-up duty, it's been fun to watch.
Talk with RJ Young at RJ_Young on Twitter. Great follow. And RJ, some of the great videos that you do, a lot of them are in jest, but they're funny, but they're kind of true, and it's a great, unique way to kind of put an opinion or a pundit spin on stuff, but at the same time have a good time with it. And there's been a lot of critics of Mike Stoops. You've been pretty harsh on Mike. From the standpoint of the defense playing, there's been good spots this year where they have made some adjustments at halftime. They played well in second halves of games. Kind of give me your assessment on. Is Mike Stoops, is he overachieving this year coming into the year? And even if he overachieves, is that still underachieving compared to where everybody thinks the defense should be?
No, he's not overachieving. He's not achieving. All right? I mean, I've been saying that he's trash, but now look, the players, the kids, have been making plays. When they're put in position to make plays, they go do their job. And if it takes you till November to find out that double Trey is your best set of corners, that's a problem. All right? If you got to start Parnell Motley and Jordan Thomas to start the season, and then you find out that your two freshmen are your best corners, and we haven't been doing this all along, we got a problem. When you got the best pass rusher in college football dropping back into coverage and having to run down wide receivers, you got a problem. When you're running a three-man front and your defensive line is the strength of your defense, you got a problem. Because every time they make an adjustment, it's to a four-man front, and they go demolish people. Devontae Lampkin has been playing out of his mind. Obo's been playing out of his mind. I mean, that whole defensive line, DJ Ward, the strong tight end, the linebackers are true athletes. I just want them in position to make plays. And he's not doing that. They're making plays in spite of the defensive scheme. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Coach, I made a play on that. Yeah, you didn't do your assignment. Yeah, but I made a play. Yeah, that's one of those things you get into, RJ.
Yeah, look, we talk all the time about how, look, the defense is not what it was. And look, there's not, Tommy Harris. There's not Gerald McCoy. There's not guys like this on the team right now. But
they're getting back to that.
But I agree with you. I think they are. But, Sue, look, in this league, they're the most talent on defense.
Oh, no doubt.
And, look, against Ohio State, they were solid defensively. I'll be excited to see them in their bowl game this year. As bad as it looks sometimes defensively, there's still a ton of talent there, and they're winning games, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, right? They're winning games. So I made one of these funny kind of true videos about Mike Stoops being Colonel Nathan Jessup in A Few Good Men, where he says, I don't care what you think of my defensive scheme. I win football games, and there's some truth to that. So, like, it looks like it's bothersome, right? It's bothersome because you see Ruffin McNeil back there. You see that he's got the assistant head coach moniker. You see what he's doing with the defensive tackles, and you know that he knows how to coach in this league. And we've been having Mike Stoops as our defensive coordinator for 5 years, and I'm tired of watching teams that I don't think should score more than 10 to 17 points drop 40 on us, drop 30 on us. Iowa State shouldn't have dropped 38 points on an OU defense. That's just true. I get that Oklahoma State is prolific and they're the second best offense to the Sooners, but 50 points? What? I mean, and this is not the Mike Stoops defense I grew up with. That's the other problem I have. It's that I know there's something else there, so I think that he's just, instead of trying to do what he's good at, which is coaching a 4-3 or even a 4-2-5, which I think would be great.
Sure.
Stealing principles from Gary Patterson's defense. He's trying to be everything. And in being everything, he's nothing because this 3-man, 3-3-5, this 4-2-5 kind of sort of where he's got these hybrid linebackers who are superb athletes. It's not working because the kids are being asked to do too many things all at once. It's frustrating to hear a kid say, I graded out with an A, and then watch the film and be like, but you didn't make any plays.
Yeah.
That's scheme. That's not player.
Yeah, sometimes when you got the kind of horses that they're starting to get in, where the talent level is kind of changing a little bit for OU with the recruiting, sometimes it's just keep it simple, stupid. Just line up and play. And that's one of those things you get into when you run multiple fronts. It's cute, but it's almost like an offensive coordinator running multiple stuff just to run it. And you're just like, okay, what's really effective? Do what you do effective and just line up and play. Now, RJ, you're from the 918. Now, you
one of the videos we played. He was up at Union at their football.
Okay,
team.
perfect. Yeah. And so now, where'd you go to school, RJ?
Okay, so I did 2.5 years of Booker T.
Okay.
And then I transferred to Memorial, so because I was coming playing football at the same time. Robert Meacham, Felix Jones, and that crap was playing football. I wasn't going to see any football time. So I transferred to Memorial where I could have a good time. And I finished up. I'm at Memorial.
Was Eric Savage your basketball coach? Did you play basketball?
No, I didn't play basketball.
Okay.
I'm 5'5", man. Okay. I'm one of those wild man, 150-pound linebacker running backs.
But you were okay. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so you always rep the 918, and from that standpoint, kind of talk about how you got into what you do and where people can go find you, go look at your videos. Again, you always put stuff on Twitter, so anytime you do a video, it's always going to be on Twitter. So follow RJ at RJ_Young, and overall, what's the easiest way people can kind of get in touch with you every day, get your feedback, all that stuff?
Well, like you said, I'm on Twitter nearly constantly. I stay in the comments of the YouTube videos, so if you subscribe to the YouTube videos, you'll see me in the comments all the time because I love talking to football. People are talking about it. I'm sorry for the essay. No, man, this is where you put the essays. This is where we congregate. So YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Facebook page is RJ Young. But I got into this right after the Ohio State game. I started doing it just hard because I wanted to make a video about Baker Mayfield planting the flag, which I thought was the most gangster move ever. You've done the land thief in Columbus, Ohio. You've stolen the Q.
Yeah.
Land run circa 2017. Right?
Ohio State owes Baker Mayfield rent. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I started doing those while I was working out, right? And I'm on a step mill. And shooting them from different camera angles, and I edited them together because I have a journalism background.
There you go.
And I'm in school at Oklahoma State, right? So this was me also being able to troll Oklahoma State fans I'm in school with, and I got some feedback from some friends with like, this is awesome. I wish there was an OU football channel on YouTube, And I looked around, and there's only Kuno, who's pretty cool, and he's a good guy.
Yep.
But that's about it, you know. And I thought it was something I could have fun with, and that was the thing. I'm having fun, and I'm having fun because there are a lot of folks like me who like to hear me talk about OU football and like to talk with me about OU.
It's funny, RJ, because there's a specific niche that you get into, and from the standpoint, listen, I know you listen to radio, and I know you listen to it from both sides of the state, and you get your local pundits, your experts, and all these guys, even guys that are. Wait, are you OU homers? Or are you not OU? I mean, so and I said, there's a niche for this, and RJ's hitting it because he's like, dude, I'm all in on OU. I'll just tell you that right now, and I'll tell you why Baker is just savage, just hammering people.
I got to ask though, because in your latest video, it looks like you had a haphazard incident with an iron. So what happened to your OU flag?
All right, so this. I got the flag as a backdrop to the live studio that I put together after this started to look like a thing. And I didn't iron the flag, right? So I went to Walmart, I bought the flag, I unfolded the flag. It's hard for me to hang a flag that's longer than I am by myself. I was very happy that I had done it in one level. Wasn't about to try to iron this flag. But the first thing that my girlfriend says, and the first thing my best friend says, my mother says, is, when you need to iron that flag, dog. And then it became kind of this running thing in the comment section. It's like, I guess we're running with the boxes and the flag. So
Yeah.
I got an iron out to iron the flag. And this was the same. I committed to OU, and I'm watching this Isaiah Spiller tape, and I see steam, and I smell melting nylon.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And I go and I lift up the flag, and there's this brown spot, and there's this hole, and I'm going, you know what? I got to have the flag up, and I'm putting up the flag. So I do the live shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and the guys, the guys and the girls who were in the chat, they're like, so you got an incident with the flag, dog?
Yeah.
You told you to iron it, not burn it.
Yeah. Who irons anymore, though, right? I mean, so credit to you for owning an iron. I don't know if I haven't. I don't know if we have.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I don't own an iron. I had to use the girlfriend's iron.
Okay. Because there's an iron in my house somewhere. I have no idea where it is, though. Hey, RJ, we got to run, man. That was awesome. We'll definitely do this again.
I appreciate you, fellas. Have a good one.
For sure. RJ Young, man, the guy is super talented, no doubt about it.
Energy off the charts, and his editing on his videos is great.
It is great. Like, if
it's funny.
If you're an OU, I'll say this: even if you're not an OU fan, you will laugh.
It's funny
because he'll rips on Mike Stoops a lot.
There's a niche for this.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you that.
No, for
niche,
sure.
niche, whatever, however you want to call it.
We'll catch up with RJ again, man. That is good stuff. Break time. We'll come back. Hour number 2. Fist bumps, nut punches, and more. We'll be back. You're in the mix on the Animal.
The Sports Mix.
Right.
Okay, that's all for me. If you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because I upload a video every day. I'll see you tomorrow, immediately following OU West Virginia right here in this space, live. Join the chat. We have a great time. I'm sure I'll have more things to say about why Mike Stoops needs to be fired. Deuces.